Come into a comfortable cross-legged seat and sit up nice and tall. Take your palms to face down on your thighs. Good. Once you're seated up nice and tall, go ahead and close your eyes. Close your eyes. Take a long, deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth wide and exhale. Inhale through your nose. Open your mouth wide and exhale. One more time. Take a big, big breath in. And exhale. Good. Take your hands together, heart center. Bow your head down into your hands. And set an intention for your practice. Set an intention, something you'd like to embody or experience for your practice. You can sing Om or just listen. Inhale through your nose. Good. And now take your arms, open your arms out to the side. Palms are facing up. Inhale, stretch your arms up, lift your thumbs. Exhale, bring those thumbs down to your heart. Let's do that a few times. Inhale, reach both arms up, look up. And exhale, take your hands to your heart. One more time. Inhale, reach both arms up, gaze towards your thumbs. Exhale, take both hands to your heart center. Place your right hand down on the floor. Inhale, sweep your left arm up and over. Look down towards your right hand. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, sweep both arms up. Spread your fingers wide. Exhale, shift over to the other side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, bring both arms up again. Rotate towards the right. Take your right hand back behind you. Place your left hand across your front thigh. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, peek behind you. Inhale, reach both arms back up. And exhale, rotate to the other side. Your left hand walks behind you. That right hand catches the outside edge of your leg. Inhale. Exhale, peek behind you. Inhale, both arms back up through center. Reach through your fingertips. Good. And now turn your palms to face behind you. So my elbows are facing forward, palms to face behind you. Take your hands to the back of your shoulders and just start to lift your elbows up. Lift your elbows up. Now notice how your belly and your ribs jut forward. Can you contain your ribs? Pull them back in and draw your tailbone down, but keep inching your fingers down your back by any amount. Take a big breath in. Exhale here. Good. Now open your arms wide, fingers facing up. Draw your fingertips in towards your body. So you'll feel that stretch through the fronts of your wrists. Take your left arm underneath your right arm. Give yourself a hug. Drape your fingers into the edges of your shoulder blades. Inhale here, lengthen through the crown of your head. Exhale, tuck your chin down and place the backs of your hands together or place your palms together. Lift your fingers up higher. Squeeze your elbows together. Breathe into your upper back. Breathe into your upper back for 3, 2. One more breath in. Exhale. Sweep your arms all the way up. Good. And take that on the other side. So your right arm comes under. Give yourself a great big hug and really dig those fingers back into your shoulder blades. Inhale, maybe it's the outsides of your shoulders. Exhale, tuck your chin under and then either press the backs of your hands or the fronts of your palms together. Big puffy breaths into your upper back and the backs of your shoulders for 3, 2. One more breath in. Exhale, unwrap your arms, take them up high. Last little piece from this place your hands on your shoulders so your elbows point out to either side like little chicken wings, and then just start to really slowly juice your arms, so start to move around 3 times in each direction. And catch yourself. So if you're like zipping through it and trying to go really fast, can you slow down? Let the essence of this practice be like slow and deep. Let's go really slow and get really deep. Good. And then shake it all out and transfer your weight onto all fours. Come down onto all fours. Spread your fingers wide. Stack your shoulders above your wrists. Your hips are above your knees. Inhale, drop your tummy to the floor. Peel your shoulders back. Lift your heart. Lift your chest. Lift your gaze. Exhale, round and puff into your upper back. Look towards your pelvis, towards your belly. Inhale, dump your tummy to the floor. Smile across your collarbones to lift your gaze up. Exhale as you round into your upper back. Last time like that, inhale, find that cow spine. And exhale into flexion. This is cat. Good. Come back to a neutral spine. Stabilize here. Think about zipping up through your midline as you take your right arm forward and kick your left leg back. Right arm comes forward, kick your left leg back. Option 1, stay here. Option 2, find that cat-cow movement with your spine again. So you're going into cow, spinal extension on the inhale, and then cat on the exhale as you tap your knee to your elbow. Inhale into extension. Exhale into flexion. Inhale to extend. And exhale to round. Place your right hand down and your left knee down. Switch sides. So now your right leg comes out. Your left arm stretches out. Zip up. So pull your belly button in like you're pulling it away from your yoga mat. Either stay here and just work on balance and stability, or inhale to lift the heel and the thumb, and then exhale, tap everything underneath your chest. Inhale, extend. Exhale, compress. Inhale, extend. Exhale, compress. Inhale. And exhale. Lower your hand, lower your knee. Take both knees wide, bring your big toes to touch, and drop your bum down towards your heels. Reach your hands out in front, really, really far, and come up onto the tips of your fingers. Place your forehead on the floor. Walk your fingers as far away as you can. Inhale here. Exhale, soften your chest. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale, lift up. A little bit different. Bring your knees together. Your hips stay right above your heels. Walk your hands forward again. Drop your forehead down to the floor. Now you can stay here or turn your hands to face up. Turn your hands to face up so your palms are facing up. And then bend into your elbows and catch your shoulders. You might give yourself a little massage. And you can move your shoulders around here until you feel that shearing through your shoulder blades. 3 breaths. Peel and pour your weight forward now. Come down onto your tummy. Come all the way down onto your tummy. Place your elbows right beneath your shoulders. Palms are facing down. Draw your chin in towards your chest. Push your pubic bone into the floor and start to lift your gaze up. Good. Notice what it feels like if you bend into your knees. You're just starting to flirt with some deep spinal extension here from your belly, from a supine position. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Lower all the way down onto your tummy. Open your arms wide. Keep your right arm flat on the floor. Push the floor away with your left hand and roll onto the outside of your right side body, so onto the right side of your body. Your legs can stay stacked or bend your left knee. Reach your left arm up and maybe it drips down towards your right fingers. Lots of scapular work here. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale Exhale, float back onto your tummy and do that same work on the other side. So I'll demonstrate from a different vantage point. You're giving the floor a great big hug, and then you'll push the floor away with your right hand. So you're rolling right onto the left lateral line of your body, and that shearing, that tension is happening along your shoulder joint. Depending on what you feel here, you might take your top arm and lift it up. 3 breaths. Really, really deep, deep work. Slow and deep. Slowly roll onto your belly. Give yourself a moment. And when you're ready, press yourself up onto all fours. Press yourself up onto all fours. Good. Keep your knees where they are. Take your forearms down to the floor. Interlace your hands. Flex your feet. Let your head hang heavy and lift your bum high. So now we're in a shape called dolphin pose. It's a variation of downward dog. If you have really sore wrists in downward dog, this can be a nice modification. My head is dumping between my upper arms like it's going to be caught in this little basket, this little nook I've created with my hands and my elbows. Walk your feet in a little bit closer. This is how you'd get up into a headstand eventually. And then just bend into one knee, straightening out the opposite hamstring, and switch sides. Bring both legs to a straight-ish position. Press into your hands and find plain vanilla downward facing dog. Breathe here. Connect with your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, bend into both knees, hop or step forward. Press your hands into your shins. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, dangle over your legs. Take hold of opposite elbow. Separate your feet as wide as you'd like. You can even bend your knees. And like an old rag doll, can you just shake and shift your body left to right? Shake your head yes or no. Maybe open and close your mouth or your eyes. Dumping out any distractions here. Place your fingers back on the floor, bend into your knees, make your way all the way up to standing. Take your arms up overhead as you come up, and then exhale your hands to your heart. Good. Inhale, sweep both arms up overhead, stare towards your thumbs, follow your thumbs as they roll down, down, down to the earth. Inhale, lift your heart halfway, reach through the crown of your head. Exhale, plant your palms, step back into a high plank pose. High plank pose. Zip your belly into your spine, draw your tailbone down. Plug your shoulder blades back and reach forward through the crown of your head while you push back through your heels. So opposing actions here. Inhale, come forward on your toes, so your whole body is coming forward. Peer over the top of your yoga mat. And then push back through your heels until you feel a stretch in your hams or in your calves. Inhale, come forward on your toes, bend your elbows, lower all the way down to your yoga mat. Come up onto the tips of your fingers outside of your yoga mat. Take your feet wide. Push into your hands and your toes. Inhale, lift your heart and your chest. Find a cobra variation, this sweet, juicy back bend. And then exhale, lower back down. Inhale, lift up, drop your right shoulder as you peer over your left shoulder. Exhale, lower, back down. Inhale, lift up, opposite side. So drop your left shoulder, peer over your right shoulder. And release. Push your hands into the floor, float up, then back downward dog. I thought I had a dog in my own house. Was that Willa? Reach up and back, downward facing dog. Good. Dogs must find it funny when they hear the word dog over and over in a yoga class, hey? Breathe here. Bend into both knees, hop or step forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Push your feet down. Inhale, sweep your arms up, look up. And exhale, take your hands to your heart. Think slow and deep. Bend into your knees. Go even lower than you normally would and reach your arms out in front like you're holding on to a great big beach ball. Draw your tailbone down and you'll feel your legs. It's like your femur bones are plugging into your hip sockets. Squeeze into your inner thighs. So your inner thighs are strong. Look up, inhale. Exhale, straighten your legs, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant your palms. Step back into your high plank pose. This time lower down onto your knees. Lower down onto your knees. Good. Now lift up your bum like you have a little tail. We'll stick with the dog theme. And drop your chin and your chest to the floor. What a funny little shape. Now drop the tops of your feet to the floor. Peel your shoulders back. Lift your heart and your chest like 5 inches from the earth, baby cobra. Exhale, push up and back, downward dog. Inhale, step your right foot between your hands and drop your left knee to the floor. Come onto the top of your left foot. You can do a high lunge if you have knee issues or tuck a blanket underneath. Now scissor your inner thighs together, reach through the crown of your head and take both arms up overhead. Interlace your fingers, so your 2 pointer fingers are released, pressing into one another. Squeeze into your inner thighs. So instead of your pelvis dropping, it's actually lifting in space. And then reach back, inhale. Exhale, lower both hands to the floor and step back into a downward dog. Stay here, breathe in. And exhale. Step your left foot between your hands, lower your right knee. Turn onto the top of your right foot. Scissor your inner thighs together. Take your time. Inhale, reach both arms up overhead, interlacing at your fingers. And even though your hands are together, can you try to pull them apart? Don't let them fall apart, but try to pull them apart to create some resistance. Scissor through your inner thighs. Everything's really active. Inhale, reach back. And exhale, plant your palms, downward facing dog. Inhale here. Exhale, bend into your knees, hop or step forward, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold. Drop your bum down, stretch your arms all the way up alongside your ears. Now come straight to standing. Take your hands alongside your body, mountain pose. Bring your big toes to touch again. Bend into your knees, plug your hands at your heart center this time. Inhale, reach through the crown of your head, and as you exhale, rotate to the right and take your left elbow across your right thigh. Push your right hand into your left hand as you start to draw your right ribs up. Now pull your left knee back, so your left hip starts to track back, left hip tracks back. Listen carefully, can you step back with your left leg? Step back with your left leg. Yeah, it's tricky. Really good. And if you've made it there, you can either keep your hands together or open your arms wide. Breathing wherever you are. 4, 3, 2. On 1, listen carefully. Bring your hands back together. Look forward. Step your left foot forward. Woo! Bring your hands back to your heart center. Stand up. Inhale. And exhale your hands to your heart. And drop your bum down again. Now you know where you're going, so it's instantly more accessible. Squeeze your knees together. Inhale, lift your heart and your chest. Exhale, rotate towards the left. Push your right elbow into your left thigh. Reach through the crown of your head. Think slow and deep. Start to pull your right hip back so the knees are really aimed towards one another. And with all the mobility and stability you can find, step your right leg back in a twisted lunge. Zip up through your midline, reach through the crown of your head, maybe open your arms wide. Inhale. Exhale, turn your gaze forward. Can you step forward, find that deep seat, and then straighten your legs and fold forward. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, plant your palms, step into plank pose, pause here. Good. From high plank or low plank, so your knees are lifted or on the ground. Can you bend your elbows, come halfway, hold there, and then pump yourself right back up. So you're either doing these push-ups from high plank or from low plank. We're really working on your core strength and the strength in your biceps and your triceps today. So we have to do a few more because Karina just redid her hair and she needs to get this practice in. So we'll do 3 more little push-ups from your knees or high plank. And when you've done your 3 and you've had enough, go back up, downward facing dog. Inhale here. Exhale completely. Inhale, step your right foot between your hands. Take both arms, stretch them up overhead, reach through each of your fingers. Turn your left toes to face the left long edge of your mat. Open your arms wide. Warrior two, gaze over your right middle finger. Inhale, reach through the crown of your head. Exhale, drop your left hand down your back thigh. Stretch your right arm up alongside your right ear. Inhale, reach further through those right fingers. And as you exhale, pour yourself forward into side angle, extended side angle if you take your left arm up alongside your left ear. Root through the four corners of your feet. Inhale, come straight back up to standing with straight arms and straight legs. Stretch your fingers forward, lower your right hand to your right shin. Zip up into the center line of your body, draw your left hip under. Engage your right quad. Reach through your left fingers. Push into your feet, come right back up to stand. And now bend into your right knee, take your right hand towards the upper right corner of your yoga mat. We're coming into half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. You can keep your right hand on the floor, your left hand can stay on your left hip, but your whole pelvis is opening towards the left long edge of your yoga mat. Your left heel is pushing back, the crown of your head is pushing forward. If you feel steady, lift up your left hand. If you feel super steady, lift up your right hand. Breathe for 3, 2, and 1. Plant both palms on the floor, step back, downward facing dog. Either stay here, take child's pose, or flush it all out with a vinyasa. From downward dog, step your left foot between your hands. Scissor your inner thighs together, reach both arms up, find a high lunge. Open straight away into warrior two. Take your back hand down your back thigh, stretch the opposing arm up alongside your ear, exalted warrior. And now tilt forward, shift forward into extended side angle pose. Your elbows on your thigh as the opposite arm soars up alongside your ear. Push into both feet, straighten out both legs and both arms. Reach your fingers forward and release those left hands down towards your shins. Don't collapse. Pull everything up so you're tight, you're active, you're strong, and your thumb sits right above your nose. Root down through your feet, lift up again. Now take your left fingers to the upper left corner of your yoga mat as you lift your right leg up. Lift your right leg up, turn your whole torso and pelvis towards the right edge of your mat. Your right hand can come to your hip. So this can be Ardha Chandrasana. Hand on hip, hand on ground. That's wonderful. If you're feeling super stable, the next step is to reach your right hand up. If you still feel steady, you're connected to your midline, your breath is steady, your gaze is set on something still, lift up your left hand. This is called poet's pose. For 3, 2, on 1, place both hands onto the earth, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale forward to plank pose. Exhale, lower halfway or all the way. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pigeon pose. Take your right knee behind your right wrist and settle down to the earth. If that's too much for your knee joints, bend your back knee and take a deer variation. Linger here, a little time for rest, 10 breaths. Take one more big breath in. Exhale out all your air. Press your palms into the floor, float up and back, downward facing dog. Be still or rush through a vinyasa. When you're ready, take your left knee forward, And find your pigeon stretch, your hip stretch on the other side. So the purpose is to observe a stretch in your outer hip and that lateral hip into your piriformis along your bottom, and you can bend your knee and readjust the pose however you need to until you get that stretch. So don't worry about how it looks, but focus on how it feels. 10 breaths. One more big breath in. Exhale, press your hands into the earth, float up and back, find downward dog. And when you get into downward dog, walk your hands back towards your feet, so you're coming to the back of your yoga mat. Take your peace and love fingers, wrap them around your big toes, inhale to lengthen. Exhale, bend into your elbows, fold forward, draw your kneecaps up so your legs begin to stretch. The crown of the head dumps. Another idea here, if you don't want to have your hands on your toes, is to interlace your hands and hold the back of your head. This can really help stretch out your upper back. Release your hands, place them onto your thighs, bend your knees. Please come all the way up to standing. Okay. From here, take your feet hip distance apart and sit back into your chair pose. I'll take you through a little adventure. Keep your right foot grounded on the floor, bend into your left knee and take your left ankle over your right thigh. Option 1, you hang out here. Option 2, bend deeper into that really deep chair. Like I always imagine I'm sitting at the lunch table at my kids' daycare. They have these ridiculously small children's chairs. Get down really low. And option 3 is to take your hands to the floor. Feel that stretch through your outer hip. And if you can get your hands all the way down to the floor, maybe flatten your palms on the floor and see if you can find chaturanga arms, so those deep 90-degree bent arms. And then lean your weight forward. Don't worry about where you drop off. I just want you to explore and consider where this pose can take you. So you're bending deep into your elbows, that top foot's wrapping around your upper arm, and maybe you're hanging out here. And that's as far as we'll take it today. And just notice how that feels. And then rewind. Rewind really slow. Can you get back up without falling? Nice work. Mountain pose, wide-legged mountain pose. Close your eyes, big breath in. Exhale, you can go. Do that again. Inhale through your nose. You're like blubbering or flubbering through your lips. Open your eyes, bend into your knees. You've got this really wide stance now, right? And take the opposite leg. You might need to manually pick it up. Place it against your thigh. Whew. So that's a lot of work, right? You're focusing on balance, hugging into your midline, looking down the ridge of your nose. Your breath is consistent. Your hips are really, really working here. Keep that foot flexed. And then sink even deeper. You're sitting down into a little kid's chair. Walk your hands into the earth. Maybe you can place your entire palm on the floor. Maybe not, don't worry about it. And if you can, start to wrap that lifted foot over your upper arm and then just lean forward, puff between your back like you're in cat pose and look forward. So you're bending towards 90-degree arms. Wherever you are along this spectrum, I bet is really challenging, so stick with it. For 3, 2, on 1, cautiously rewind that shape. Come back up and then just rock your hips from side to side. Continue a little dance. And then figure 8 with your hips. Figure 8 with your hips. Switch directions. Gets confusing. Switch directions with your figure 8. Good. And now come to the top of your yoga mat. Take your feet wide. We'll flush this out. Inhale, reach your arms up. Inhale, 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 inhale. Open your mouth wide. Make a ha sound. You reach your arms down really fast and let it go. Try that again. Get really into it. Inhale, stretch your arms up. And exhale. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale. Press your hands into your shins. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant your palms. Step back into plank pose. Lower halfway or all the way. Inhale, perk yourself up, look up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Drop your knees down to the floor. Take your feet wide and sit back between your heels. Now this might feel impossible for some bodies. So you can either do this or I'll show you another pose too, okay? So you're either sitting down between your heels and working your spine towards the floor. This is called hero pose or saddle pose. Sometimes I think I don't have a spine. This is really easy for me. Most of my students, 99% of them, are about here, right? And if that hurts your knee joints too much, could you come onto your back and take bridge pose instead? It's the same pose, it does the same work, but it doesn't put as much stress on your joints when it's not as intense for your quads. So one of those two variations, you're holding for 10 breaths. If you're in bridge pose, gently lower your bum to the floor. If you're in hero pose, walk your hands in towards your body, take your time, shoot your legs forward. And those of you down on your back, can you come up to seated and meet us here? Stretch both legs out. With both legs extended, now bend into your right knee and step your right foot to the outside of your left thigh. Take your right hand behind you. Inhale, lift your left arm up. Exhale, rotate towards the right. Push your left elbow into your right thigh. Flex all those fingers in your left hand and gaze behind you by any mat. Inhale here. Exhale, return back through center all the way over to the other side so you get this counter stretch. And then pick up your right leg and wrap it around your arms like it's a little baby and just rock your leg back and forth, side to side. Little hip lubrication here. Take your foot and plug your foot into your inner left thigh. Reach your left peace fingers towards your left toes or to the floor. Inhale your right arm up and over. Press your foot into your thigh into your foot. Sprout out away from your pelvis. Sink a little deeper. 3 breaths. And now shift away from that lateral flexion just by turning your right hand to the floor on the inside of your left leg and fold forward over your left leg. Pull your left toes towards your head. Reach your head towards your toes. Inhale. Exhale, sink a little deeper. Good. Inhale. Walk your hands back up. Take that right leg and stretch your right leg forward. Bend into your left knee. Step your left foot outside of your right thigh. Walk your left fingers behind you. Keep your right toes active. Stretch your right fingers up and then rotate towards the left. Now actively push your right arm into your left leg and vice versa. Rotate first from the ribs, then from your head. Inhale here. Exhale, unwind, unravel over to the other side. Come back through center, pick up your left leg, give it a big hug, and just rock that left leg around in its joint. Grab your left foot, plug it into your inner right thigh. Take your peace and love fingers towards your right big toe. Inhale, stretch your left arm up and over. So this is a lateral stretch, big lateral bend. Breathe here, 3 breaths. And now rotate your torso and your palms so you're just folding directly over that right leg. Pull your right toes in towards your head. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, walk your feet, walk your hands in towards your body and come all the way down onto your yoga mat. When you get there, squish your knees into your chest and just give yourself a little massage. Eventually, let both knees fall over towards the right. I'll show you two variations for your hip, for your final twist. Option A, your knees are just falling and both arms are open wide or with bent elbows. Option B, take your right peace fingers and wrap them around your left big toe and then stretch your left leg out. You can let that foot fall onto the floor. The idea here is to really build sensation through your outer hip flexor. Turn your gaze over your left fingers to create that spiraling action all the way up through your neck and your head. 3 breaths. Release your hand from your toe if you've made a bind there. Shake and shift your body over for a twist in the opposite direction. Again, either variation, whatever you need. Settle in and take 3 big breaths. Finally, pull your body back through center. Catch the outside edges of your feet with your hands. Happy baby pose. You might rock from side to side or perhaps stay totally still or take a bow and arrow shape by stretching your right leg out, plugging your left foot into your inner thigh. This is like that stretch we just did from seated. And then coming back through center and trying that in the opposite direction. And once everything feels good, take your legs down onto the floor. Relax your arms alongside your body. Palms are facing up and close your eyes. Take one final deep breath in. Exhale out through your mouth and be completely still and completely silent. I'll let you know when Shavasana is up. Ever so slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, waking your body up. Inhale, reach both arms up overhead, stretch through your fingers and your toes, make a yawn, take a great big yawn. And bend into both knees and roll onto the right side of your body. Push your palms into the floor, lift yourself back up to seated. Take your hands to heart center. Close your eyes. Think about your intention or take a moment now to set a new one, something you'd like to manifest or create in your life. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth wide and exhale with a sigh. Inhale to sing or listen to the sound of. for practicing. Keep practicing. Namaste.